नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमः प्रभुपाद नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद जय श्री Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Jai Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram. Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshana. Govinda Hari Govinda, Venkataramana Govinda, Srinivasa Govinda, Sri Venkatesa Govinda. Govinda Hari Govinda, Venkataramana Govinda, Srinivasa Govinda, Sri Venkatesa. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare. कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे, निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। आञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च, पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, welcome all of you for the last part of the question answers on faith and doubt today. You all had asked further questions, so they have compiled and sent it to me. There are particularly 28 pages. Let us see, Krishna willing, how much we can complete today. Okay, from GGD. If you chant Demigod's mantra, then it is said that the prayers and chanting goes indirectly to Lord Krishna. If someone wishes to chant Demigod's mantra having full faith in the demigod or Lord Krishna, then is it wrong? Then we give the example of Prime Minister and cabinet ministers and others. We gave the example in Utkarsh. Is it not correct to chant demigods' names, knowing that our prayers will reach Lord Krishna too? You see, Prabhupada gives an example. If you go to meet a Guruji, you actually bow down to him and you touch his feet or touch the dust just below his feet and then take on his head. If somebody goes to a Guruji and touches his shoulder or touches his head and say, I took blessing of Guruji, is it proper? You have to actually touch the feet of the Guru, not the shoulder of the Guru or head of the Guru, if you really want to take mercy. So Prabhupada says, worshipping demigod instead of Krishna is like touching the shoulder or touching head. It's like that. Avidhi Purvakam. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. It's not proper. For example, you have to pay 10,000 rupees tax to the government, to the Prime Minister. And you try to catch one minister or MLA, MP and tell them, hey, I will give only 5,000 rupees to the government. And for you, I will give you 1,000 more. Accept this bribe and let us settle it in 6,000. If somebody does, that is considered a bribe. So one should directly go to the government and pay 10,000. That's what Prabhupada means. He explains that in another place. So, for example, in your village, if a MLA is standing on the stage, next to him, Chief Minister is also standing. Next to him, the Prime Minister is also standing. And you are picking up a garland and coming to stage very fastly. Now, 3 people are standing. To whom will you put? If you are putting it to MLA, thinking he's a local man, he will get embarrassed. He will say, what are you doing? You are putting to me. We 3 of us are standing here. And Chief Minister also will look at you. The Prime Minister will look at you. But if you put the garland to the Prime Minister, other 2 will not be unhappy. They know he's a big man, Prime Minister of the whole country. So therefore it is Avidhi Purvakam. It's like putting a garland to the local MLA instead of putting on the Prime Minister. You understand the difference? So one should worship Krishna, who is the root of the whole existence. Therefore that verse says, Yatatarormula nishechanena trupyanti tatskanda bhujopashakha pranopahara chayatendriyanam tataiva sarvarhanam achyutejya achyuta ijya. Worshipping Lord Achyuta or Krishna is like 2 examples are given. If you water the root of the tree, entire tree gets nourished. If you put the food in the belly, the entire body gets nourished. If you worship Krishna, all the demigods are pleased with you. It is said like this. But if you worship demigods, that is not equal to pleasing everybody. It's like watering one leaf of the tree or one twig of a tree. It's not like watering root of the tree. So, therefore one should know there is a big difference between Krishna's names and the demigods' names. It's not the same. Yeah. And then here Narayati Karapur devotee is asking, in mental activities, whether there is momentary pleasure or no pleasure at all. Actually, the so-called momentary pleasure, what you call as momentary pleasure is not pleasure. It is called relief. You are going from -800 pain to -500. And that upgradation from -800 to -500, you are thinking it to be pleasure. That's just imagination of the mind. Kandutivan manasijam vishaheta dhiraha. Prahlad says that. Manasijam means it's a mental concoction that I am enjoying pleasure. Actually, if you scientifically see what is the type of pleasure that one is getting in a man and woman passionately try to embrace each other, if you completely scientifically consider the fact, what is the body of a woman? It's a chemical bundle made of flesh and bone and stool and sputum and mucus and urine and stool, all kinds of dirty substances packed up very nicely with the skin. One is, it's like a pillow only. Isn't it? One is embracing that and one is thinking I'm getting some pleasure. Is it not crazy? Isn't it? It's just an imagination of the mind. It's a trick of the mind. Foolishness of the mind. Actually, you can be so foolish when you are passionate. When you come to Krishna consciousness, you go beyond passion to Sattva Guna and Vishuddha Sattva. So you are not attracted to such passionate pleasures. So that pleasure of sex life is compared to a camel eating thorns. When a camel eats a cactus and bites the cactus is soft. So he thinks, oh, this is very soft like peda, very nice. When he bites it, the cactus thorn tears his gums and the blood oozes out. And he drinks his blood. And he's thinking that, oh, the cactus juice is very nice. But what juice is he drinking? His own blood only. Similarly, when a man and woman unite, man releases so much semen, which is 1 drop of semen equal to 40 drops of blood. So he is actually drinking his own blood in the name of pleasure. So where is pleasure there? There is only pain. But it is imagined pleasure. Yeah. Is it the best to simply avoid the person if you don't know the answer to his argument, especially when the person is in the mood of debate? We are in the initial stage. Yeah, you are right. You can tell him that I have no time now. Your question is very interesting. Another time we'll meet, and you can push off. And then you can, in case you know his questions, you can ask somebody else. After some time, when you become very stable in bhakti or confident, then you can answer them. Yeah. Is there any way to bring my brother to Krishna consciousness? I don't know where your brother is. If your brother is, you are in Burla, you are studying in Burla, yeah, you can connect your brother to devotees in your locality. They will take care. Your elder brother, yeah, then it's better that you connect them to some local devotee who will cultivate them, because they don't like to hear from blood relatives generally. Okay, we say that Lord Krishna is Lord at home and Vishnu is Lord at office, but to differentiate between them on the basis of 64 and 60 qualities, yeah, and 16 sense and the feet of Lord Krishna. But before Lord Krishna's appearance, all of the devatas went to Vishnu for praying. Yeah, correct. And then Brahma took them all to our Chirudaksha Vishnu. When Lord Rama appeared, he had also signs in his feet, but not all 16 signs. To throw some lights on this dilemma. Actually, although the devatas go and pray to Vishnu, that Vishnu in the milk ocean is like a CEO of the universe. He is expanding into everyone's heart, he is omniscient, we say, like that. But Krishna is like the owner. Who is big? CEO is big or owner is big? Owner. So Krishna, when you tell him, he will inform Krishna and then Krishna will come. So there is no ambiguity in that. He will request, my Lord, you are being invited, please come. Then he will come. Of course, Vishnu is not a servant of Krishna. Vishnu is an expansion of Krishna. We don't have that experience of expanding, so it's difficult for us to comprehend. Krishna expands in multiple forms. One of the forms is Vishnu form. But even the Vishnu forms are also attracted to seeing Krishna's form. Therefore, Mahavishnu stole those 4 Brahmana boys and he wanted to take Krishna darshana. Darshan of Krishna. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, Lord Rama, Vishnu, Krishna, they're all only one person. But Krishna manifests a full-blown rasa, we can say, called as Madhurya rasa. Whereas Vishnu only manifests Aishwarya rasa, means respectful mood. Both Ram and Vishnu. Therefore, from a rasa point of view and tattva point of view, the original is Krishna, from where Rama and Vishnu all expand. And this is not our own imagination. Shastra says that we can give quotes for you on this. Yeah. Okay. Our human body has sense organs like ears, eyes, nose, etc. Each of them perform to specific purpose. Yeah, correct. Sensory information to the brain. However, we see that the personal form of Krishna and deity has also the same. As the body of God is made of Satchidananda, Krishna doesn't actually need the senses and he can sense any part from any other body. He is a divine body. The soul also has a similar body. Or the divine body has also some kind of mechanism like physical body to perceive the senses. Yeah. This creates confusion. The human body is a mirror of the spiritual body. Okay, it seems like God's personal form is an image of human body. I'm perplexed. Does senses in the divine body has any significance, or it is simply just there? Although each sense can serve any function, as it is not like human body mechanism. Okay. You see, if I have to taste son babdi, I can just take it in the hand, and I will get the same happiness in the spiritual world by putting it in the tongue. In the material world, unless you rub it to the tongue, do like this, then only you will get the taste of son babdi. Simply by catching it, you will not get. Whereas in spiritual world, as soon as you touch son babdi, you get the same bliss what you get by putting in the tongue. You understand, no? Similarly, if you see the food with your eyes, you get nourishment. You don't have to pick up the food and put in the mouth. Therefore, the eating is only a pastime there. Here we eat because we are hungry, and then we have to get nourishment for the body. There it's not like that. The spiritual body never grows. The spiritual body never diminishes. There is no old age. There is no death. All the senses of the body are there. They are all interchangeably functionable. Therefore, people who are foolish ask why there is no sex life in spiritual world like here people are enjoying. Because here the genitals are kept with a pleasure coating in this world, so that man and woman, when they unite, some heavenly pleasure in an earthly body, we call it. One experiences that. Therefore, man and woman are hankering to unite with each other and beget children. But then Brahma says in the Bhagavatam that he created this pleasure coating over the genitals so that the jivas can do the work of procreation. Otherwise, how will the procreation continue? He has kept that, he says. But all the brahmachari sannyasis, they never engage in this. They completely withdraw from it. Even in the material world, and you can imagine in spiritual world how people will be. You can imagine. Because it's not that you have to depend on one small part of the body to get that pleasure, like the genitals or the tongue. Oh, I need to put the food here, rub it with my tongue, then only I'll feel happiness. No, simply with seeing food you feel the bliss, same bliss what you experience by eating. So, to get some idea about the spiritual body, the spiritual form exactly looks like the material form only, but the difference is what? It is spotlessly beautiful. Everybody has a unique face cut, unique forms, but they also have hands, legs, face, everything. A spiritual body is that. They are spiritual form, Satchidananda Vigraha. Just like a light beam cannot be cut with a sword. Similarly, spiritual body cannot be cut with weapons. It can be moistened. It can fly. It can do all activities. It has got all the siddhis. So, we have some idea of the spiritual body, but you cannot completely comprehend it with our limited sense perception right now with 4 defects. Yeah. What happens to the body and soul while chanting the Mahamantra? What is the process behind it? Okay. That is explained in the Shastra. What happens exactly? Actually, when one chants the holy name, there are medical tests. I can give it to Pankajugo Prabhu, David Bryan Wolf. I have the doctorate thesis of David Bryan Wolf with me. A copy of that I have. So I have the PDF. I can give it to him. He can share it with all of you. So there he explains about the effect of chanting on the body and the mind and the soul. How 1,000 people they took and conducted a test, boys and girls. How the body experiences deep relaxation, calmness, peace of mind. The body feels extremely relieved from all the stresses. And the mind also becomes like a lake which is serene lake. There are no ripples, there are no waves or tides. Mind is made calm. So it's called as alpha state. Called as alpha. So alpha stage is 8 cycles per second to 13 cycles per second of the brain frequency, brain wave frequency. If you go above 13, passion starts. Go above 18, hyperactivity starts. Above 23, a person dies due to too much activity. You go below 8, it is you feel drowsy. You go below 3, you are asleep already, completely. You are asleep. So therefore, we want to be between 8 to 13. 8 to 13. If you go below 8, it is called as complete relaxation. And if you go above 13, it is complete alertness. But 8 to 13 is relaxed alertness. So you will experience a relaxed alertness. The beauty of relaxed alertness is you are deeply relaxed, yet you are very alert in accomplishing your goals. And that's what the chanting brings you to. It's a sattva state. The above 13 is rajoguna, below 8 is tamaguna, 8 to 13 is sattva. So chanting Hare Krishna very soon makes you very cheerful. So many professors in America noticed the Hare Krishnas and they asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, what are your students doing? How are they? Earlier they were so dirty, taking drugs and drinking, smoking, everything. Now they appear so bright-faced and they are very enthusiastic and cheerful. And they can't actually put a show because every moment they are like that. They are relaxed and alert. Prabhupada said because they are chanting Hare Krishna. I'm chanting the Mahamantra. So can we also do Sandhya Vandanam? Why is it sacred and important? Significance of Sandhya Vandanam. Sandhya Vandanam is done 3 times a day. Pratha Sandhya, Madhyana Sandhya, Sayam Sandhya. And the Brahma Gayatri mantra is chanted for one who has taken the sacred thread. One has taken. And the mantra of the Gayatri is done in order to bring you to a complete Brahminical status of punctuality, cleanliness, discipline, purity, and like truthfulness, honesty, simplicity, godliness, straightforwardness and things like that. There are many qualities which come by doing Gayatri. Even in ISKCON also Gayatri is awarded to us. We also do 3 times a day. And by doing it, it's like a catalyst in Mahamantra chanting. When you are chanting Hare Krishna, sometimes you may be lazy, crazy, but the Gayatri makes a person very Brahminical. It makes your habits very clean and pure. And that can act as a aid in becoming a better devotee. How to follow routine bhakti without giving up it in few weeks after we start doing it. Yeah. See, in Tamoguna, we never even start taking initiative in chanting. In Rajoguna, we start and stop. Again, we continue, stop, like that. And in Sattva-guna, we can be very steady. Therefore, we teach you 4 regulative principles. Follow the 4 regulative principles nicely. Then the Bhakti Yoga will also become steady. Yukta hara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu, Krishna says this. You do everything in regulated way. Regulation, discipline, time per kana, time per sona, time per padana. Then it will become steady for you. So have a timing. Night 9 o'clock I'll go to bed. Morning 4 o'clock I'll get up. Like that you make up a timing. And stick to it. As we're discussing about the Vedas, I'm having one doubt. Why the Vedas are distinguished in 4 types? Actually, Vedas are only one. But whether we saw that it's very bulky and all the people won't be able to comprehend it. So he arranged many Jaimini and many other rishis. Paila Rishi, Jaimini Rishi. His students, he took them and he divided them into 4. Vibhajan he did. Just like, your college textbook may be very bulky, but in the market you get some notes, correct, no? They take the book and they break it into chapters and they make some question answer type. So they make the course book very easy for you. Same way Vedavyas did that. And Ayurveda is a part of Atharva Veda. Yeah. How far can we push Krishna consciousness? This is NTK Suratkal. And doing everything for Krishna before it's getting labeled as radical religious activities like jihadist terrorism. Oh, anybody can say anything. Somebody will call you jihadist. Somebody will call it you are a radical religionist. You are a fanatic. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna all the time. So it's like the story of the father, son and the donkey. They purchased a donkey in the market and they were walking in the road. People laughed at them. They purchased a donkey. Father and son both are walking. Fools, they said. Then the father, put the son and then on the back of the donkey and they were walking. And then some people said, what a kind of family is this? You see, they are son is sitting comfortably, but the old father is walking. Is it justice? They were saying. And then the son told the father, Papa, I'll get down, you sit. Then the father sat in the donkey and then son was walking. And some people said, what kind of cruel father it is? Comfortably is going in the donkey and he's making his young son walk, they said. Then father took the son and put in the front. So both of them sat on the back of donkey and going. So some people said, how cruel these people are. Both are sitting on the back of donkey and poor donkey is foaming in the mouth, he's struggling. Oh, his donkey is struggling. Then they got down. Then both the son and father lifted the donkey on their shoulder so the donkey will not suffer. Had two legs. I lift 2 legs, you lift 2 legs. They were walking. And all the people laughed. Are they fools? Look at these guys. They purchased a donkey and they're lifting it above their shoulder and not using it for riding. And father and son got thoroughly confused. When a bridge came, there was a river, they threw the donkey in the river. Because they went mad. Because they were hearing a dozen people saying dozen things. And that's what will happen to you if you are going to hear different people saying, somebody calls you jihadist, somebody calls you fanatic, somebody calls you this. Ask yourself how much faith you have in Krishna consciousness. Ask that first. Are you convinced about this process? If you are convinced, you will never care for the world around you. You can just ignore the world. There is a likelihood that you yourself are doubtful about Krishna consciousness. You think it looks fanatical. Why only Krishna? Why not all the gods? Then that is your problem, not the world problem. World is a reflection of, world is like a mirror. Whatever your consciousness that reflects in the world. You say, people may say this, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, how can I have the bead bag in my neck? They will laugh. What is this hanging from your neck? People are not laughing. You yourself are not confident of wearing this. Why should I put my tilak? What will people say, Prabhuji? Hell with the people. Are they going to take back to Godhead? Are they going to purify your heart? Nobody worries about you. Understand that. Nobody in this world is interested in you. Do you know that? It's a harsh reality of life. Everybody is selfish. Everybody is thinking about what is in it for me. But if they criticize you, comment about you, if you take it seriously, then you will become foolish. So in case you are not convinced, again go back to basics. Go to APC, go back to DYS course. Start all over again. Study the books, read Prabhupada's books, come to temple, ask questions. First you become convinced first. Why is Krishna consciousness supreme consciousness? Why not just priorities, working under the mode of friends, family, competition, passions? All these are kind of consciousness. Actually, what are you talking? Even dogs are doing it. Do you think dogs are family? Don't you think the honey bees have their society? They have a queen bee, they have a drone bee, they have a society, and they have very nice honeycomb. So it's not that as a human being, if you are with family, competition, passion, friends, you are any better than the bees or the dogs or any other kind of animal. They have society too. They are doing all these things. As a human being, how do you stand different? Atato Brahma Jigyasa. That's what makes you different as a human being. You can ask the question, why am I suffering in this world? What is the actual goal of this world? What is the purpose of life? Why all the living beings in this world are put into varieties of situations and they're suffering, sometimes happy, sometimes suffering. Then when you ask that question, then gradually study the Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra explains that, you know, that personality residing in this body, without whose presence you cannot smell, without whose presence you cannot see, without whose presence you cannot taste, without whose presence you cannot touch and perceive anything. Your body will be called as a dead body without the presence of that personality in your body, who is called as a soul. Then you understand, our soul is actually the resident of the body. You are not the body, you are a resident of the body. Body is only like a house in which you are living. You understand, who is that soul? Otherwise, the body is simply a chemical bundle, nasty body. It is sending out all dirty things in the 9 holes. A stool is coming from behind, or urine coming from the front, from the nose and the mouth. What nasty things are coming? Why do we give so much attach, so much importance to the body? You're talking about passions and competition, family. First of all, ask question to yourself: are you the body, or are you soul? If you think you are the body, then we are no better than animals. That's all. But if you understand you are the soul, all these things what you're talking about, these have no meaning at all. You have to think about the soul is like a bird trapped in a cage. Then the goal of the bird is to get out of this cage and fly in the free sky. Similarly, the soul has to get out of this bodily encagement and he can be free to be happy in the spiritual world. That's the goal of life. Therefore, one boy asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, you're talking about love of God. I have love for girl. Is that good enough? Prabhupada said, your love for girl is no different from love of a dog for a she-dog. That's all. Because that is called mundane love. Dogs are loving, cats are loving, birds are loving. All are doing the same thing. Cockroach and cockroachini are loving each other also. So your boy-girl relationship is no better than that. It's also counted along with that only. But if you love God, that is extraordinary. Because He is the Father and we are all children. So if the children can look up, instead of looking down, they look up and can awaken love for Him, which is natural love, that is divine. But this is all mundane. Yeah. How can I be sure that there is no real progress in material world? Is it a very big question? You start with LKG, UKG, first standard. There appears to be progress. 10th standard, 12th standard, engineering. And then you do a MBA from IIM. Then you go abroad and start a .com company. You make $1 million. One day suddenly, when you become even, sometimes you find people at the age of 40, 50, 60. In America, they're shooting in some places. Now there is a big fires going on in Oregon, California. In New Orleans, there was a big storm before. In this way, different things are happening, either natural calamities or either the health issues or either the pandemic or whatever. Suddenly, this body will stop functioning. Then what is the progress you carry with you? Tell me. What kind of progress is that? Material progress takes you from zero to a great height and drops you to zero again. So zero progress. There is an example of the story of Sisyphus in the Greek stories. So the Sisyphus was a person who was punished by the king. And the punishment was to take a big stone boulder up the hill, From down he has to take up the hill. After reaching the top, he has to leave it. It will come to ground. Again he will be asked to lift it up. And morning to evening he has to do this every single day till his death. And if he wouldn't lift it up, there will be 4 or 5 sentries or soldiers who will whip him. And that kind of thing had been appointed by the king. It's a story you will read in the Greek, this thing. So when I read that story, it immediately reminded me material progress is like that only. Sisyphus. Material progress takes you from zero to high up the hill, and then you leave the zone, comes to zero again. And next life start from, ba, black sheep, have you any wool? yes sir, yes sir. You start from there all over again. Like I'm Radheshyam Das, people introduce me as the MTech from IIT Bombay. I'm carrying a degree with me. At the time of death, can I say that now I'm going to next body, let me carry my IIT degree with me. And the next life, I'm taking birth from womb of another mother. Mom, I have come with my IIT degree from last life. It's here. Please keep it safely. Can I do that? How funny it would be. Huh? We have to start with Jack and Jill or Baba Black Sheep all over again. Therefore, material progress is nothing. We have many restrictions in the material world, some based on laws of nature and some based on laws of human. When we break them, we are punished. How would one describe sin? Sin is disobedience to God. Simple definition. Sin means disobedience to God. Very simple definition. It's not any man-made law, God-made law. And you study the scriptures, you come to know what is sin. All the four regulative principles, if you break it, it is sin. Yeah. Yeah. I get a lot of doubts about Ritviks. Please say about them. Also, Prabhupada's books are being changed by us. Okay, actually, Ritviks are people who thought that after Prabhupada left the planet, there are some sannyasis, gurus, they did not maintain their pure position. They left the sannyas order and got married or something like that. So, Ritviks got extreme shock. How can a guru or sannyasi give up that position? If you read Mahabharata, it says, Guraur avaliptasya. There is one sloka which says, if a guru becomes a Mayavadi or guru gives up his post, one should not follow him. Instead, one should follow another guru in good standing. It will not happen, but occasionally it will happen. ISKCON has more than 95 gurus now, and a few handful of sannyasis must have left the order. But now, after 2001 or 2002, practically there is nobody who has deviated, because the sannyas ministry has become very strong now. So, but these people came up with a heretic philosophy. Heresis means deviation, concoction. So they said, better accept Prabhupada only as the guru, nobody else. So we will give you Diksha on behalf of Prabhupada. Like that they started a new thing which is not authorized by scriptures at all. Scriptures say that a guru who is not living on the planet cannot give Diksha. So Prabhupada giving Diksha is a misnomer. These people are propagating it. And Prabhupada books cannot be changed very easily. Everybody in the world is very strict about it. You can go to Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, write to him, he will tell you what is being changed. Some spelling mistakes are there, certain sentences are half framed. In the original publication, they are changing certain things and they will not change anything in the mass change, they won't do. You can check with him, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. And BVCC, I am addicted to watch Sadhguru Sai serial in TV. I am feeling so happy by seeing the cool, calm, smiley face and annunciation of Sai. Please help me, Prabhu, how to avoid watching television and serials. Nobody can help you to avoid watching TV or watching movie. If somebody is taking cigarette and keeping in the mouth, Prabhuji, I want to give up cigarette, Prabhuji. How can I give up? You are already having cigarette in the mouth. How can you give it up? Nobody can help you unless you want to help yourself. So, there are so many gurus coming on the screen. In the YouTube you will find so many people speaking. So it's ultimately your choice which path you want to take. You choose the path and you walk it. And if you are in Tamoguna, you have no control of yourself. If you are in Rajoguna, you have partial control. If you are in Sattva-guna, you have complete control. So you come to Sattva. Sattva-guna, actually, you can ask your mentor, what do you practice for Sattva-guna? Follow the four regulative principles, chant Hare Krishna, come to Sattva-guna. Then you can decide, I want to do this, I will do it. This I don't want to do, you won't do it. Yes, Bulla. Why Krishna created souls? What is the purpose for making souls? Good point. Very good question. You see, just like imagine if there is a Jamindar having a big house, a big hall. He is sitting alone in the village in his big house. There's nobody, no wife, no children. Silently just sitting in the chair looking here. How boring will be the house? Think about it. On the other hand, if the Jamindar has a wife and they have a dozen children, small and big, all of them colorfully dressed, making different noises, playing games in the house. Some are worshipping the Lord. Some are doing activities. The whole house is bustling with activity. It'll be fun, isn't it? Then Jamindar's house becomes a very interesting house. Similarly, the absolute truth at the dawn of creation itself, eternally, he decided to be like this. That means the Shaktiman, Shakti, and the tiny Shaktis. So Shaktiman is Krishna, Shakti is Radharani, and we are also Shakti, but we are tiny Shaktis. Very So Krishna is called Supreme Personality of Godhead. Radharani is called Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. Hmm. Krishna is called Sevya Bhagavan. Radharani Sevak Bhagavan. And we all are Sevak, tiny jivas. Hmm. The whole family, spiritual family. So when we come to the material world, Lord comes in this world to deliver us and take us back to Godhead. But once you go back to Godhead, why the spiritual world has Shakti and Shaktiman and Jivas? Because it's a very happy place. In five rasas, Lord exchanges love with his own children. Like my father used to bring a big jar of fruit mixture, multiple fruits. Like you have this custard, you have, no? He used to bring a big jar. What do you think he will do when he brings it home? On the table he will keep it. Do you think he will take a glass and drink everything himself? No, he likes to share with everybody. Similarly, Krishna is full of ananda, happiness, and he wants to share happiness with all the jivas. So, like my father would pour it in the glasses and give it to his wife, give it to the children. Similarly, Krishna wants to share his happiness with all the jivas. And he is a playful Lord. He is playing on the flute, he is playing with the covered boys, dancing with the covered girls, and becoming a child of Yashodananda, playing pranks. Spiritual world is actually a place for fun. There is no profession, there is no job to do, there is no money to be earned, there is no family to be maintained, there is no suffering there. It's a place of merrymaking. So in this way, the absolute truth enjoys variety. Variety is the mother of enjoyment, as we say. That's the purpose. So Lord didn't make the souls. Just like as soon as there is sun, there is also particles of sun rays. Similarly, when God existed, naturally souls were tiny parts and parcels, they existed. Read 15.7, Bhagavad Gita. Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Sanatana kalse is saying. The jivas are always my part and parcels. Now what to do if someone has a marriage problem? My sister has marriage problem since last 10 years. Okay, she's 33. Okay, you write a mail to me, I'll connect you to the marriage bureau. And to 8 or 10 different fellows in India who are all having many alliances. I'll connect you and then you can follow it up with them. They will help you. Okay, you told in one session that whatever religion you follow, your aim should be to love God. But other religious people are not chanting. Then how will they get liberated instead of chanting? You don't know. They also have their chanting. You can see the Christians sing Alleluia. Similarly, when they also chant Hail Mary. Similarly, Muslims also have a mala. But their mala is made up of glass. You will see that. Rosaries. They also chant namaz. Even Buddhists chant Namo Abhida Butsu. They also chant. Even the Sikhs also, they also have mala to chant. Everybody has mala, every religion. They all have that nam to chant. They will all chant. And God is not a fanatical person. He says that you didn't chant Hare Krishna, so you cannot look at me. He won't say that. Because a child may call Amma or Mama, or child may say, but the mother understands, the child wants me. So everybody, to the best of their ability, in whatever religion they are following, they can call out the Lord without any motivation. And the Lord will very soon guide them. Yeah. I see. What devotees now presently do for so much problems in society, like corruption, sexual assaults, should sit quiet only? What should be our response to when such incidents happen in society? Should we blame the karma or protest against it? By protesting, are we performing our duty? Actually, what happens, like the recent Hathras, sexual assault of a girl by some 4 men. So many people are protesting that those 4 men should be hanged. That is the protest actually. And now some police are saying that there was no sexual assault at all. They are saying like that. They say that there was no raping that took place. Some people are so, and we exactly do not know what the news is. Before you can protest, you need to know about the matter well. If you feel that the matter involves, matter is crystal clear, then protest would be helpful. You can take protest. Like Arjuna was told to fight by Krishna. So then one should fight for the truth. And our Dhruva Maharaj was fighting with Yakshas because one Yaksha killed Dhruva's brother. So Dhruva wanted to wipe out the Yakshas, but he was told to stop. He was told that you should not do this. Only one Yaksha killed your brother and you want to wipe out the Yaksha's race. So somebody is told to stop fighting. Somebody is told to take up fighting. So you need to be guided. Ask, find out the truth, and then you decide which course of action to take. In Hadith it says, he has quoted one phrase here, that is Gazwa Ye Hind. So I would suggest you to go to Google search. I saw it myself. I put in Google search, I found out that they are saying that it is a misrepresentation. Just like jihad, for example, jihad is called the holy war. If you read the Quran, it says that anybody who prevents you from practicing your Islamic principles, they are stopping you, they are punishing you for practicing Islamic principles, then you should conduct a jihad, it says. Imagine tomorrow a Hindu king comes and says, these Muslims living in this locality, they should, you stop all their mosques activity and they cannot do any namaz in their homes. Like that, if he puts a restriction, then one should conduct a holy war. But now there are many people having many misunderstandings about jihad also. So my suggestion to you, same words, Gazwa Ye Hind. That's what I put in Google. I immediately found out. Very nice article is there. You go through it. Yeah. Prabhu, I can't refute a certain part of scripture. However, time and time again, I find myself not able to believe in the scriptures. Please, how can I increase my faith in scriptures? And tell how Krishna consciousness is the highest of consciousness. Yeah. Actually, the students of the modern times have heard that they came from the monkeys. So they are behaving like monkeys only. We are actually Rishiputras, but we are becoming Rakshasas now. Because you are told your ancestors are monkeys. So if you have faith in them, go in their path. It's your choice. Actually, one has to think very wisely what the scriptures are saying. There is an entire, I will give it to Pankaj Gaur Prabhu, we have a link called Vedas and Science. You click that link and go, there are million things about Vedas and science. You will not be able to exhaust it. There are so many things are put up in the cloud. He will give you, Pankaj Gaur Prabhu will give you. Take the link and go through it and see whether your faith develops. Ultimately, it's your personal choice. Do what you want. So why Krishna consciousness is the highest of consciousness? Because otherwise you will find that you will think that my caste people are the best people and you will fight with other castes. Or you will say my state people are best people, fight with the neighborhood state. Or you will say my country people are best, throw bomb in the neighborhood country. You will do that. Or if you are humanitarian, you will say, let us save all human beings and kill the cows and eat. You will do that. But when you become Krishna conscious, you will not cause harm even to an ant. Because every jiva living, wherever there is Chetan Jeev, you will have reverence for all life. And you will understand, Aham Bija Pradaha Pita. Krishna is the father of all living beings. I should not injure anyone. Therefore, it is the highest consciousness. Because this kind of love, universal love, leads you to the point of love God, love all. Because you are loving all as your brothers and sisters, how can you kill any of them? Tell me. Therefore, it's highest consciousness. Should kids be taught in school, childhood, to give equal importance to both science and spirituality? Or rather, they make their own decisions? Yeah. We can actually tell them in the school days that science says that you came from monkeys or apes. And you can also tell them that scriptures say that we came from Brahma and everything. And let them decide which one to accept. Both can be taught to them. Let them compare and see for themselves. Yeah. And you can also teach about Big Bang Theory. And you can also teach about everything coming from Supreme Lord Vasudeva. Both you teach. And let them use their brain and think which one is correct. How to manage things like study and other things with Krishna consciousness. Manas, Marayudhyaja, 50-50, like a railway line. Give equal importance. We call it as a morning for Krishna, evening for studies. Ask your mentor. We have spoken a lot about it. Was Krishna haughty? See, haughty means proud or arrogant, boorish. That is called haughty. Krishna was never haughty. You will see that, in the Radheshyam Yajna conducted by King Yudhishthir, everybody had different service. Dushasana was in charge of the food distribution. Arjuna was in charge of accommodation for the sages and all. And Yudhishthira Maharaj was in charge of the treasury, like that. Everybody. And Bhishma was in charge of the whole management of the sacrifice. And Krishna said, I also want a service, but I will take the seva of washing the feet of the sages coming to the Rajasuya Yajna. Now you decide whether Krishna is humble or proud. Similarly, God means a supreme controller. In fact, He can order everyone and everything in the creation. By His order, sun is rising. By His order, seasons are changing. By His order, the rains are showering. By His order, the grains are growing. And that Supreme Lord, Supreme Controller, becomes a charioteer of His friend Arjuna. in the battlefield of Kurukshetra without exhibiting his prowess. He is empowering his own devotee Arjuna, and he is humbly serving like a driver. So you decide whether he is humble or proud. Sarat College. I have met some people who say that devotion is like an illness of a paranoid schizophrenia, where you experience a thing which doesn't exist. What logic should I give to counteract them? So you ask them, okay, let us assume that the devotion is just like imagination or something. Ask them what is the definition of life in your thing. They will say, life has no rhyme or reason at all. You just live out your life and die one day. You say, you muff. You can tell them, is this what you think about life? Huh? Is a chemical bundle, that's all. That as my chemistry teacher told me, you are a chemical bundle, I am a chemical bundle. Life is only a chemical bundle. If this is your definition of life, get lost from here. Don't show your face, ugly face. You should tell him. Because they have no meaning of life. It's like asking you to play a football game without having any goal post. Will you play such a game? Only a fool will play such a game. Because if you ask the football organizer, sir, on either side there is no goal post, how do you play the game? He says, run as long as you want in this side. Sir, what about this side? Run this side also as long as you want. So you will not waste your time with such a football game. Is it not true? Similarly, if your friend says there is no goal of life, he is simply bluffing. Why do you waste time in hearing arguments of such a fool-like fellow? So, this is the first question Shastra has answered. Life has a goal, very clear-cut purpose. Human life has a very clear goal of human life, which is actually purification of heart, glorification of God, returning back to Godhead. Crystal clear. And Samartha Ramdas, a famous devotee from Maharashtra, was he a true devotee or not? Yeah, he was. Therefore, Shivaji Maharaj was his great follower. Yeah. And what is the reason behind in Jagannath temple the food ready first in the upper part and the lower part which is above fire? Actually, this is not the only mystery there. There are 20 such mysteries. There is a PowerPoint available. Many of your mentors may have it. It shows many mysteries. For example, the wind is blowing from the ocean to the temple in this direction, but the flag is like this. It's flowing in the opposite direction. You will see that. Similarly, the Gopuram, on all times of the day you will see, whichever place sun goes, the shadow never falls on the ground. You will never see that. You go and see yourself. How it is, only God knows. There are 20 such mysteries in Jagannath Puri. I have interest in politics, as I have seen, and there are many devotees like engineer who have half in devotion. As I have interest in politics, how should I help myself? Okay, you become a MLA or a MP or a CM or a PM, and you can do great good. Take care that you don't forget your chanting. Complete your 16 rounds and then do your job of a politician, no problem. BYCC. When one commits suicide, then the soul will have to wait for some time to get the next body. But Prabhuji, if one gave the life due to some failure of his or her vow, the person had to die. In Mahabharata, Arjuna was about to leave the body in the fire. But some person have failed many times, they should give up life. He says, well, yeah. If somebody commits suicide, they will become a ghost in the next life. Ghost means the Atma has got the subtle body, consisting of man, buddhi, ahankar, but he doesn't have a gross body instrument. Like right now, I am a soul with subtle body sitting inside this gross body. I can move my hands, I can speak, I can do activity. But imagine I went out of the body, but I don't have a gross body. Then I can't give shape to my desires. How will you live? It will be very difficult. It's very painful for the ghost. So that's why ghost tries to enter into somebody's body and then people drive him out also. It's not a very good situation. And they'll be ghost for many, many long years before they come back into another body. Lord Shiva has to give him a human body after that. So it's not a good idea. One should not. For example, company gives you a car to go to the company and do the work. But imagine you take a cricket bat and hit the car glass, break it. Then the company will say, hey, you have broken the car. We gave you a car for your use. Okay, they will take back the car and give you a Luna only. Like that, material nature will take back the human body and give us the body of a cat or a rat. You see? So one should not abuse the human body. Now, what does it mean to raise consciousness practically? Very easy. For example, Tamoguni person is smoking, drinking, drugs. A pig, for example, doesn't even see whether the she pig is a sister or a daughter or a mother also. It has sex with anybody. Do you know that? There's pigs. So if somebody is in a pig-like consciousness, Then he has to elevate his consciousness to what? Then one stops drinking, stops smoking, stops indulging in illicit relationships like that. Uh, and then one also starts studying Gita. That means he's elevating his consciousness. And then as he goes to Sattva-guna, he will eat pure food. He will eat only prasadam. He will go to the temple. Instead of going to cinema house, he will go to the temple. Instead of going to discotheque to dance, he will go and dance in the temple. Instead of hearing raucous music, he'll be hearing some nice bhajan kirtan. Instead of discussing novels and reading novels and other things, he'll be reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, isn't it? Yeah. So in this way, that means your consciousness is getting elevated. Very simple. When we try to control our sense, we can be able to control somehow, but the pride comes in me of control senses like the gang of war. So how to control that pride? So we may be thinking that I have controlled the senses. As soon as the pride comes, we miserably fail again. So therefore one should know that there are many greater people than us. For example, what is our situation in relation to Brahmaji or Indra? And what about the great sages and acharyas like Madhvacharya, Ramanacharya, Shankaracharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Who are we? We are insignificant. So we should not think too high of ourselves. Whenever your mind thinks too high of yourself, look at the people above you, how great they are. Then we will understand how small we are. Many people argue that the Puranas are recent compositions and only Vedas are to be considered authentic. They give arguments like demigods, which are prominent in the Vedas, often become redundant in the Puranas. The popularly worshipped demigods, gods have evolved from the mind of the Vedic deities. And with different focus. Okay, ask them to follow the four Vedas. If they don't want to follow the Puranas, if they think it is of recent origin, they think like that, it is their own thought. But we accept our acharyas like Veda Vyas. I can show you so many quotes. I will suggest you, IIT BHU Varanasi, I will suggest you to go to internet and put Zakir Naik defeated by Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna's defeat Zakir Naik. Put that in YouTube, you will get it. In that, if you see that video, you will get dozen more videos you will get of Hare Krishna devotee establishing Puranas and others and all. So there is one exclusive video on establishing the position of Puranas. I can even find out whether if I have the link, I think our Achyuta Mohan Prabhu, I can send him. I'll send to Achyuta Mohan Prabhu and ask him to share it with all of you. You can see that. So otherwise you will find it out easily in YouTube. One entire clip is devoted for that. Puranas. Puranas called Pancham Vedas. In Bhagavatam you find that. Some people don't completely reject the scriptures as mythology, but they conveniently accept the part which is in accordance with science, and those sections which stand in normal intelligence, they say it to be allegorical. What is your take on this? Actually, in the Puranas also, some allegorical stories are also there. Like in Bhagavatam, the Puranjana Upakyan, Narada clearly says it's an allegorical story. It is not a real story, Puranjana Upakyan. But rest of the pastimes in Bhagavatam, none of them is allegorical. Sometimes little allegorical story comes in between, but it's clearly mentioned what is allegorical and what is real. The real thing we should accept as real, even if it is challenging our intelligence. Real should be accepted as real, allegorical should be accepted as allegorical. And if somebody is accepting part of the scripture and not accepting other part, and this is called Ardha Kokutanyai. He is cutting the neck of the cock, thinking that I will not feed the cock, I will only keep taking eggs from behind. But then the cock will stop giving eggs because he has already cut it. Then the meaning will be lost. Scholars say that Sanskrit has evolved from a pre-existing Indo-European family because the Europeans want to say that we are the origin of all languages and Sanskrit has come from. So poor fellows, they will hardly be able to convince anyone about this. The more they try to prove it, the more they will become a laughing stock. There are enough researches done on this. If you haven't seen, you can ask any Sanskrit scholar. If you want, there is one Hare Krishna Prabhu in Pune. If you write, you ask Achyuta or somebody to write, he can send you many PDFs on this. I see many atheists boasting about how they can still be Hindus and be atheists simultaneously. That's just nonsense. They're just bluffing. What kind of Sanatanist or Hindu you can be if you are an atheist? Nastik Nastic means one who has rejected the Vedas. He is Nastic. Astic means one who accepts the Vedas. If somebody says, I am a Nastic, but still I am a Vedic follower, it's nonsense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Many religious people also tend to support them by contrasting it to Abrahamic faiths by saying our religion is so tolerant that it can even encompass atheism into it. Oh, there were rishis, so-called rishis like Charvak Rishi. He said, Ranam Kritva, Gritam Pibet, Yavat Jivet, Sukam Jivet, Basmin Bhutasya Dehasya, Kutah Punaragamana Bhavet. He said, one should enjoy life very well, he said. You should steal ghee and you should make very nice items and eat, he said. Beg, borrow or steal, but eat very nicely, he said. And then he said, after you die, what will happen? Who knows? Just enjoy as much as you can. One Rishi has said this. His name is Charvak. He is a die-hard atheist. Do you think our Vedas say that he is also a Rishi, we follow him? No, he is an atheist. He is outside the Vedic. He is a Avaidikam. He is not accepted in the Vedic thing. In the 6 systems of philosophy also, those things which are atheistic ultimately are not given any any locus standi at all. Vedanta given by Veda Vyas is actually the sublime truth. Everything else has no stand at all. Does Sanatana Dharma have any place for the atheistic philosophy? Oh yes, there are atheistic fellows. It's not that modern day atheists actually have to fall at their feet and take their dust on their head. Modern day atheists, these people's logic is nothing actually. If you read the atheism of some of the older people written in very, very voluminous Sanskrit, they have also written. Therefore, those people who are really searching for God and searching for the goal of life have to be very discriminating and should know where should I look for the right thing. And you can get lost by the atheistic logic, and then at the end of your life you will realize that all this logic is bogus. You will realize that. And that time it will be too late. Your teeth will be gone, eyes will be gone that time. Therefore, one has to come to the right conclusion. Vedasya sarvair ahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Krishna says, by studying all the Vedas, am I to be known, he says. Are the Vedas essentially agnostic in nature? Do they promote the idea every individual is a seeker and they have to seek their own individual truth? No, they are not agnostic. Vedas are very crystal clear about God. You will see that every Vedic mantra begins with Vishnu's name, ends with Vishnu's name. Hare Om Sham no Mitra Sham Varunah Sham no Bhavat Paryamam Sham Nayindro Brihaspatihi Sham no Vishnurukramaha Namaste Vajo Tvamevam Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvamevam Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ridam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanma Vavatu Tad Bhaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Bhaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So it begins with Hare Om. And if it doesn't begin with Hare Om, it will end with Om Tat Vishnum Paramam Padam. Like that it will end. You will find. So the Vedas are never agnostic. Agnostic means he doesn't have faith in God and he doesn't have disbelief in God. He is actually confused. Vedas are not like that. Vedas are crystal clear. They very clearly Om Tad Vishnum Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Sureyah Diviva Chakshuratatam Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagravam Samindate. It says, very clearly it says that all the Brahmanas who are studying the Vedas, they are very clear that all the Devatas rush to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu at all times. And just as the sun in the sky need not be seen, but the sunlight through the window is good enough for you to say sun exists. Similarly, the Brahmanas, while living in the material world, can confidently tell you there is Vaikuntha planets, even without having to see with your naked eyes. Because they can see the large energies manifested even in this world. Like that it says. There may be many beauty popular personalities. Actually, why are these guys trying to flourish in this way? Basically, these guys want to eat, sleep, mate and defend. That's all. They say that please allow us to be animals and don't show the way of glaring proof in the Vedas and which will make us surrender to God. They want to escape from the surrender, so they come up with concocted philosophy. Just like that fox said, all the foxes laughed. Hey fox, you were jumping up and down, you couldn't catch that grapes. What happened to you? This fox told them, no, I have decided not to jump after it. They said, why? That's a sour grapes, he said. Is it sour? Grapes is not sour, you fool, you could not catch it. Similarly, the Vedas are giving the truth. These guys don't want to follow it and they are concocting a new philosophy like educated people giving justification for not following. Nonsense. It doesn't carry any sense at all. Like the Srimad Bhagavatam is there, a commentary and the purports of all 1 lakh verses of Mahabharata. Why is Mahabharata considered not very important to read fully with purports compared to Bhagavatam? Actually, Bhagavatam is actually, it also, actually you say Mahabharata contains Leelas of the Lord. Mahabharata is full of politics. It's full of wars. It's full of glorification of, subordinate qualities, not transcendental qualities. Therefore, Narada instructed Vedavyas that you wrote Mahabharata, Ramayana and all these things. But Bhagavatam is actually Paramahamsa Samhita. It fully extols the glories of the Lord in every word, in every shloka. And Bhagavatam is full glorification of the Supreme Lord. Whereas Mahabharata, Vidura himself says, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are verses in which he says, although Vedavyas talked about, Draupadi Sharanagati and Krishna giving her sari, and Bhagavad Gita spoken, it's only a small portion of Mahabharata. Most portion of the Mahabharata is about the greater India, the details. And you can read the Krishna Dharma Prabhu's Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, and there is also Ganguli, I think, 18-volume edition of Mahabharata, very detailed, you can see that also, As in this material world, everyone is attracted. We also read Mahabharata, Ramayana, after reading Bhagavatam, we can read. Material world, everyone is attracting others to the beauty, fame, money, and other opulences. Then why scriptures give definition of God is full of 6 opulences in full quality? Is it not develop a material attraction towards God and this attraction towards God good? Actually, even if you develop material attraction towards Krishna, there is no problem. He is of absolute nature. Whether you are materially attracted to him, spiritually attracted to him, ultimately you will become purified. Dhruva Maharaj materially was attracted to God. Why? God will give me a kingdom. He's a big man, He himself is Lakshmipati. My mother is saying that he can give me a big kingdom. So I will go there, I will do meditation and get the kingdom and enjoy. That's why he went. What happened to him? When he went to forest and did meditation, Vishnu came. He saw the beauty of Vishnu. He became completely purified. And he said, Sthana Vilashi Tapasi Sthitoham Tvam Praptavan Deva Munindra Guhyam Kacham Vichinvan Api Divyaratnam Swamin Kritartosme Param Nayacha. He said, my dear Lord, I am simply satisfied seeing your beautiful form. Now I don't want any Dhruvaloka and all. He said. So even a person going with impure motive to God will become purified. Simply go towards God, that's all. Sometimes many people challenge us, give us some daring work, how we should prefer these darings. You tell them, here is my mala, I chant 16 rounds. Do you have the daring to chant at least 1 round? Ask your friend. And tell your friend, I sleep at 9 and get up at 3 in the morning. Do you have the daring to get up? Ask them. They are not even sleeping at 3, they are sleeping at 4 o'clock. They will run away from you. Just as they are asking you to do daring work, we can also challenge them. You tell them, stop your smoking, drinking, give up your girlfriend. Tell them, they will run away from you. Give them daring challenges to them. Why there is no importance of thoughtless meditation in the process of bhakti? Thoughtless meditation is for fools whose mind is very mischievous like a monkey. In order for the monkey mind to become calm, they have kept thoughtless meditation. But if you can think transcendently, spiritually, purely, sublime thoughts of Krishna and Krishna's service, then thoughtless meditation is useless for you. Thoughtless meditation is zero, but bhakti is in positive axis. Actually, he's saying that a software developer, if I have thoughtless meditation, I can reduce more number of thoughts while doing the job so that I can focus on coding without distraction. And my work, if you chant Hare Krishna, these things will naturally come. You don't have to separately do it. My friends are laughing at me for putting faith in Krishna consciousness. How can I make them? You laugh at them. They are laughing at you. You laugh at them. When they say, ha, ha, you say, he, you also say that. How can I make them believe that Krishna is supreme? You don't have to make them believe. They are fools. Actually, one boy told His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj when he gave a lecture, Maharaj, I don't believe Krishna is God. He said, Maharaj said, okay, that's your problem. Sit down, he said. That's your problem, go ahead. You believe or not, who cares? Krishna is God. If you don't believe, that is your problem. They say, whatever scripture says to mankind, those are all trash. How can I make them believe in God? Actually, they say it is trash. Why? They are like an ostrich. Actually, behind the ostrich, a tiger is chasing. The ostrich is putting its head into a hole, tightly shutting the eyes. I don't believe that there is any tiger behind me. Now I have tightly shut my eyes and I put my neck into a hole. I don't care for the tiger, like that ostrich said. What do you think tiger did? Tiger caught him from behind and dragged the ostrich out of the hole and ate him up. So your friends will face the same inevitability in life. They will say that, we don't believe in scripture, we don't believe in death, we don't believe in God. Okay, who cares whether they believe or not? Time will swallow them, and it's already swallowing them. So, if actually such friends are good for nothing, you should avoid such useless fellows. Like the monkey should avoid the company of a crocodile who will take him in water and hand him over to the wife for cooking the kaleja, isn't it? Similarly, these kind of friends are like that only. They are not even respecting, they are not even appreciating what you are doing. They are actually, atheistic. Then why do you keep friendship with them? If a calf associates with a pig, the calf will eat stool. You want to eat stool? Then you go with them. If you want to drink milk, come here. Follow the devotees. Was there democracy in Vedic time? Ruling of king is good or bad? Oh, there was monarchy in the Vedic times. Actually, when there are 4 classes of people now, when the labor class people take lead in leading the world, then communism prevails. When the mercantile class people take lead in the world, then capitalism prevails. When the administrative class people want to lead the world, then dictatorship prevails. And when the administrative class people want to lead the world guided by the Brahmanas, then there is monarchy. In Vedic time, there was democracy, but democracy was not for all the people. It's only for the board of bureaucrats who were very wise and intelligent teachers, who don't take any salary, who give advice to the king, like sages, like rishis. So they made a body of bureaucrats. They would choose the king. They had a democracy. But otherwise the public would accept the verdict of the sages. They had trust in the sages. I say, why Krishna does not save today's Draupadis? Why so many sexual assaults? And why they are denied this justice? Actually, in the Vedic times, the women were homemakers and the men would go and bring the money. So women did not come in the public eye. But today, unfortunately, women are coming in the public eye. Everybody is staring at them. Now women are going in cars now, driving themselves. Suddenly in a remote place, if the car gets punctured, she is all alone. She comes out of the car, a man sexually assaults her. In the Vedic time, you will never find a woman alone. She is always accompanied by father, or husband, or the son. She is always protected. And also, Vedic culture teaches every woman should be treated like a mother. Matravat paradareshu. But modern culture exploits the woman. Look at the billboards. Look at the advertisements. Everywhere they are putting woman. And they are saying Vedas are not respecting. These guys are not respecting. I went to buy a bulb in a shop and the bulb packet has got a woman's picture. Everywhere they have woman nowadays. And open the internet. It's full of shabby pornography. Everywhere women are half nude, full nude. So, and the media bombardment has entered into the heads of the youth, and it is like a pishach, like a ghost, shaking their heads. And they are all becoming barbaric like animals, like bloodthirsty. They want to do lusty activities. That's one reason. Media explosion. That's one reason. And the second reason, there is no value education course being taught to the children right from the school days, in the college days. They are teaching all kinds of material sciences, but they are not teaching character-based value education. So because the value education is not given, they are only learning skills and material sciences. So that means that they have not awakened the angel in them. They are only awakening animal in them. That's the second reason. Outside there is media explosion. Inside there is no character. Then what do you expect to happen? And also the women also want to be equal to man and they want to drive the car and they say we are very confident we will do. So they come in the public eye. And in Delhi police said that if women dress little more modestly, they said 75% of the rape cases we can stop, they were saying. But the women say we will dress provocatively because we want to impress the man. They are saying like that, we will show half of the body and we want all men to fall for us. So in this way, women are losing shyness, which is actually one of their ornaments with which they are supposed to protect themselves. So in this way, there are many things we could say because of that. So women are welcoming trouble. So in this way, my modern society requires a thorough overhauling. Therefore, we are trying to preach in the colleges. Probably we chant Hare Krishna first and some chant Hare Rama first. Both are there in the Puranas and Vedas. If you write to Sankarshan Das Adhikari Prabhu, he will send you 6 or 8 quotes from the Puranas. He has many collected. You can write to him. He will send you. He's asking, is there any difference in chanting all these things? No, there is no difference. They are all names of the Supreme Lord only, yeah. Vijay once asked my friend to read Gita. He said, Gita and many of the scriptures we have today is modified and twisted to glorify some persons or community. He said, what are the chances that today's Gita is same as the original one? How should I answer? So, you can tell your friend that is coming in Guru Parampara. So you can show him the Guru Parampara, number one. Number two, you can tell him, there are dozens of Gitas in the market, but you can see the Phalena Parichete, the proof of the pudding is in its eating. So those who are following in ISKCON, the Gita, you will find that these people very strictly adhere to the principles given in the scriptures. They follow the 4 regs. You go to their ashrama and see how they live. They chant the holy names regularly. They rise early in the morning. So in this way, they have a very good program. So I heard one of the students of Sri Sri Ravi Shankar who comes to our Calcutta temple. So he was telling me that our Guruji deeply appreciated ISKCON. In fact, he has told him that you should go to ISKCON temple, but morning they have very good sadhana. Nowhere any organization has such a good sadhana like ISKCON has, like that he has said. So you can tell your friend to come and see. If he doesn't want to read Gita, let him read other books. Eventually he will understand how it is authentic. I experienced that chanting, I feel like too heavy, like lifting mountain. Yeah, that is in the beginning. The beginning, it will be like bitter for you because you are just now beginning. Eventually, it will become sweeter. You have to be patient. Yeah. And in Sikhi, some people chant Satnam Vaheguru. Vaheguru means Va-ha-ga-ra. 4 words are there. V for Vasudev, Ha for Hari, Ga for Govinda, and Ra for Rama. You can ask them, they will tell you. It's the same 4 names what we chant. They have as Vaheguru. Yeah, they can also go back to God if they follow the 4 regs, if they awaken love for God. They can also go. In today's world, many people worship God. They are also indulging in meat eating, gambling. You have to read the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which talks about people who are not totally atheists and who are not totally Krishna devotees, who are in between. They have some other faiths, like you say about people breaking the 4 regs and also worshipping God in between. So for them, yeah, they will have to be born again. They will have to suffer, surely, for the actions. Actually, some people suffer in hell. Some people suffer on earth. Some people do both. Some of them suffer on earth for some time and then they go to hell for some time because Sanchit Karma is a huge amount, little. Some they suffer here, some they suffer in hell. Like that, the account will be. Because they have done some devotion service to God, they'll be given opportunity to continue devotion service, but they will have to suffer for their mistakes. Yeah. Suffer for this kind of actions, yeah. My friend saying that we came from monkeys and human appendix, bone, vestigial organs. Actually, there is nothing called as a vestige. Vestige is an old word. In the field of biology, they said 12 vestiges are found in the body. Because vestige means that part of the body which doesn't function at all. There's no work at all. So they were using what you are saying. But now they found one of the vestiges they called was pituitary glands. They call it as a vestige in those days. Similarly, there are many other so-called vestiges. Every one of them becomes active at certain time of in our life. They found out. Actually, the wisdom teeth is given because amongst humans, some cannot give up meat eating. They are adamant for meat eating. So that 2 teeth are given. One here is given. But animals have plenty of sharp teeth. They have. Yeah. Yes, and then many people do good services, charity, and give glory to God because of them we can do it. But their center God is maybe Prabhu, Sri Ram, Lord Shiva, Swaminarayan, based on their faith. And Prabhu, it's only karma or akarma? Or is it akarma only? Actually, they don't have a very clear-cut understanding of God. So they will make some progress. When people do some religious activity, pious activity. Therefore, if you read Bhagavad Gita, you come to understand. Punyatmas get again nice family, birth they get. And they will gradually evolve. They will get to meet a Vaishnava Guru. And even Gandhi, for example, he was a saint amongst the politicians, it is said. But he didn't take out time to meet a Vaishnava Guru and take shelter and get the full knowledge. He carried a Bhagavad Gita, but he had no time to open and read it. He will only carry Bhagavad Gita to political meetings. So, therefore, if Gandhi got a Vaishnava Guru nicely, like Prabhupada got, he would have attained a very high state. He's a man of very high character. So therefore, it's in everybody's interest to find out a guru and take shelter and learn the knowledge thoroughly without having ambiguity. Prabhu, we have to suffer in this world because of bad karma. We get punishment here or next life. No, some you suffer here, some you suffer in the hell. Both. I have seen an old video in which there is violence between ISKCON Mumbai devotees and Bangalore devotees. Okay, that is because of the Ritvik. Bangalore people are Ritvik group, and the ISKCON Mumbai is the center. Is a what do you call it? Center for the whole India, for all India is contemplated. There was fight. Now everything is all right now, cool now. In fact, Ritviks also may eventually join ISKCON now. There is a plan in 1 or 2 years. There is a talk going on with them, negotiation. What does it mean when it is said that a person is self-realized? Is the position of a devotee greater than all the self-realized person or all? What is the difference between an ideal Brahmana of the Vedic time and a devotee of Krishna? Okay. Actually, Prahlad Maharaj says, my dear Lord, a dog eater, if he becomes a Vaishnava, he is superior to a Brahmana who is a non-devotee. Prahlad Maharaj says. If a Brahmana is not a Krishna devotee, he is worse than a dog eater who has become a devotee. So Vaishnavas are superior to Brahmanas. Because Brahmanas may be demigod worshippers also. Or they may be impersonal worshippers also. And a self-realized person is one who has understood that I am not the body, I am the soul. My soul is different from my body. He is self-realized. But God-realized means, and the soul is servant of God. He understands that. It is God-realized. Yeah, Brahmanas are also bound by goodness. You are right. Devotees are transcendental. You are right. Devotees are greater than Brahmanas. One of my Christian friends says that in the Christian scriptures it is written that the animals have no soul. That's a very nice conversation with Prabhupada on this thing. Actually, they said animals have no soul so they can eat nicely. No. They can eat goat, they can eat chicken. Hey, you have no soul, I'll cut your neck and eat it. That's what. So, in Christianity it is said that God made man and he made all the subordinate animals to assist him. So Prabhupada says that assist you doesn't mean you can exploit them and eat them. Your sons, daughters are also assisting you, you don't eat them up. So there is a lot of conversation with Prabhupada on this. So it's very easy to label them as no soul so we can eat. Christian literature doesn't say that. These people have made it up. One of my friend, who's worshipper of Durga Devi, he says that in Srimad Devi Bhagavad Purana in Canto 3, Chapter 5, Lord Vishnu is telling Mother Durga, okay, you are saying that I, Brahmaji and Lord Shiva are born and dead, but you are everlasting. So Prabhu, why Vishnu is saying, see, I have downloaded Devi Purana today, for you especially, and I have studied, and I have read the chapter, I'll show you. So chapter 3, 4, 5, all of them I have downloaded. It's a very elaborate one, but I will show you one section. In chapter 5, I will show you. It's not there. What you said is not there. I checked it. See here what it says here. Here it says, then with these thou createst the whole universe and showest this to the enjoyer Purusha, who is the nature of consciousness, for his satisfaction. It says. That means, Vishnu is glorifying, Brahma is glorifying Devi, saying that, oh Devi, you take part in everything. You are the creator, you are the maintainer, you are the destroyer. You take part in all the three. We also say that. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chaye Vayasya Bhuvanani Vivarti Durga Echan Rupam Apyasya Chacheshtate Sa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So, Purusha is Krishna and Durga Mata is Shakti. She is not Shaktiman. So here Brahma is saying same thing that, you are taking role in creation and maintenance and annihilation. So much work you do as if you are the ultimate you are doing, he's saying. But then why are you doing? He says, you are showing this to enjoyer Purusha for his satisfaction. That means the supreme enjoyer is Shaktiman, not Shakti. Thou against dost become the material cause of the 23 tattvas, Mahatattva, etc., as enumerated in the Sankhya system, and appears to us like mirage. And then he's saying, oh mother, were it not for thee, no object would be visible. Thou pervadest the whole universe. It is for this reason that the persons who are wise declare that even the highest Purusha can do no work without thy aid. That means, he is extolling the glory of Devi. He is saying highest Purusha is Vishnu, Mahavishnu. From him comes Mahamaya. You are doing all this work for him, and without you, he cannot do all these things. Like that, he's glorifying. So, why I am showing you this section of the Devi Bhagavatam? You should read it totally. I read this 2 chapters fully, 3, 4, 5, all the 3 chapters, and I spotted this. So, nowhere in the 3 chapters it is said, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva say, we all are going to die and you will never die. It never says that here. I read it also. So, like this you can find if you go through it. I have marked one more thing. Here it says, the wise persons knowing all the laws declare that there is one God, attributeless, inactive, without any object in view, without any upadhis or adjunct, without any parts, who is the witness of thy widely extended Leela. That means, you are doing Leela and he is a witness. So he is Shaktiman and you are the Shakti. And one alone exists, and that is Brahman. And there is nothing else. This is the saying of the Vedas. Now I feel in my mind doubt to the discrepancy with this Vedic saying. Why? Because I cannot say that the Vedas is false. So I ask thee, art thou the Brahman, the one, the secondless, that is mentioned in the Vedas? Or is the other person Brahma? Kindly solve this doubt of mine. Like that he is asking. So is Purusha supreme or is Shakti supreme? He is asking. So in the debate between Shakti and Shaktiman, eventually you will see Shaktiman is in Tattva supreme and Shakti is subordinate to him. And in Leela, Shakti takes a predominant role and Shaktiman becomes, subjugated by Shakti. For example, I'll tell you, when you were a small boy, when you had a stunt with your father, you won the war or your father won the war. Because your father loves you, he got defeated by you. So you can sit on his back, isn't it? Similarly, Shakti is actually subordinate to Shaktiman, but sometimes Lord, like you see, Krishna bows down at the feet of Radharani. Jayadev Goswami wrote that. In the same manner, the Shakti, the subordinate Shakti to the Lord sometimes takes a superior role. Out of love, Lord assists that Leela like that. So these are very subtle, fine truths in the scriptures which you can understand over time. If you want to know more. So we can easily establish the truth that Shaktiman is supreme, even in Devi Bhagavatam. I am showing you not from any other Purana. From Devi Bhagavatam I showed you now. How did Hanuman develop great bhakti against Ram's supreme position, even though Ram didn't perform in supernatural? Lord also performed supernatural Leela. He looked at the ocean and boiled the whole ocean. And he sent Jatayu way back to Vaikuntha. And he put the dust of his lotus feet on a stone and Ahilya came out. How can you say he didn't do any supernatural Leela? Yeah. And Hanuman is actually Shivamsha. Shivamsha means is the expansion of Shiva. So Shiva is also a great devotee of Rama. Naturally, Hanuman is also a great devotee. I would like to know how many more are there. I will check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this page I will finish it. Yeah. I would like to know about the immortal persons mentioned in scripture like Ashwatthama, Vyasdev, Parashurama. Yeah, they are immortal. They will exist till the end of this thing. It is a term. But how are they living? We have to check the scriptures. I haven't read, but I have heard about the immortal persons, Chiranjeevis. Yeah. We are reading Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, Dwapara Yuga. Now we are in Kali Yuga. How Bhagavatam came? Who protected from Dwapara Yuga to Kali Yuga? How it came without any change? It's coming in Guru Parampara. You can find out who all were there in Guru Parampara. I can find. Mahabharata, why did Krishna not tell Karna that he is son of Kunti when he first saw him? See, the whole Mahabharata war, the whole Mahabharata pastime is enacted by Krishna with multiple roles. All of them he brought from spiritual world to material world and took them back. So it's enacted to teach the world what is demoniac side, what is divine side. And many subtle pastimes and lessons to be learned. We can ask why Krishna could have done this, that, so many things we can ask. He could have stopped the war. Many people say that Krishna tried to stop the war by going as a Shantidut, but they didn't listen. So anyway, Karna actually was given a second chance. Krishna told him that now that you know you are Kunti's son, and Duryodhana is a devil, he is on the wrong side, he is collecting all the nasty kings on his side. So don't stay on the Adharmic side, you come to the Dharmic side. He didn't listen. But Vibhishan came to Rama's side. He didn't side with Ravana. Last minute also, correct, no? So Karna could have followed Vibhishan's path. Like Vibhishan did in Ramayana, Karna could have done in Mahabharata. He didn't do that. That is his problem, you see. So we all have choice in our life. What to do? Is Arjuna's expansion of Indra, is it also Nara between Nara and Rishi? Yes, you are, he is Nara, correct. Yeah. Similarly, we say Hanuman's expansion of Shiva and Vayudeva. Yeah, actually, Hanuman is born through Vayudeva, but he's expansion of Shiva. Correct, you are right. Does only by chanting Mahamantra we can go back to Godhead, or we have to do other things? You have to do devotional service. Like, chanting Hare Krishna you're doing, read Prabhupada books, take darshan of the deities in the temple, and eat only prasadam, follow the four regulative principles, stay in the company of devotees, avoid non-devotee association. All these things we have to do also. But chanting is the most vital. Our dharma should be personal or public. Both. Personally you chant Hare Krishna, and public you dance Hare Krishna. So that everybody will join you, and then we can expand the Chaitanya movement all over the world. Both are required. But my question is, why Sri Krishna created souls? I already explained it in the previous question. Why the hate is increasing between people in two different dharmas? They are fanatics. Prabhupada said, I am not a Hindu, I am not a Christian, I am not a Muslim. I am simply a part and parcel of God. We should see Christians, Muslims, Hindus, all are children of God. And we have no enmity. ISKCON has no enmity with anybody. In fact, all Christian, Muslim, everybody comes to ISKCON, all over the world. Even Haridas Thakur Namacharya is from Muslim background. Who are intelligent persons according to scriptures? And what you believe? Intelligent person is one who becomes Krishna's devotee. Say Jai Krishna Bhaje, Say Bada Chatur. It is said. One who becomes Krishna's devotee is, another verse is also there. Yajnai Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Sumedashaha. Intelligent people are those who chant Hare Krishna in the age of Kali Yuga, he says. Although we have prominent scriptures like Brahma Samhita which talks of Krishna's ability, but we also see Shiva Purana, other Puranas. And same when I told you about Devi Bhagavatam. I can show you from Shiva Purana also like this. I want to know that this is the first Kali Yuga on earth. Many have passed. Brahma's almost 50 years are over. 50% of Brahma's life is over now. So many yugas have passed. How to take decisions according to our spiritual understanding or perception while dealing with mundane subject matter, because a beginner, okay, I somehow act like a pure materialistic person. My thought process is completely materialistic. And as the situation comes later, I usually find that I had handled it according to my spiritual understanding. See, when you have confusion, you need a mentor to guide you. You can ask either one. If you're not fully having trust in one, ask 4-5 people, and then you analyze all of them, and then you decide one. When you're confused. Is there any way to bring my brother, that I already told you, connect your brother to somebody in the neighborhood of your place. If you write a mail to me or on voicemedia.pune@gmail.com and tell me where your brother is, I will give you some contacts where you can connect. All over the country we have many friends, we can help you connect. Sex is allowed only for procreation, not for recreation. Then is there any possibility of extramarital affairs? No, there is no possibility. Yeah, actually, one should never go out of marriage to another woman. That is considered very sinful. And within married life, there are some relaxations. If one cannot stop only with procreation, then there are some relaxations that grihasthas will tell you when you get married. But generally, the standard rule is use sex for progeny and then focus on Krishna consciousness. If children are getting married at early age in ancient times, then how are they getting brahmachari training till 25? No, they would join as brahmachari at the age of 5. And they would take training till about the age of 12 or 14 or 15. Especially Brahmanas would continue and become sannyasis, Brahmana children. And the Kshatriya children will take training till 14 or 15. Then they will go for martial arts training after that. And those are Vaishyas, they may take training till the age of 10 or 11. Then they will take training on Krishi Goraksha Vanijyam, trading, cow protection, farming. They will take training in that and they will go to villages and become jamindars like that. Yeah. And the Shudras were never interested in going to Gurukula and studying at all. Just like we are giving this Utkarsh camp, why only you all are attending? So many other boys they have the freedom to attend, they won't attend. So they are like that. So 5 years of age was the beginning of the training. Yeah. But Brahmanas also will take training till 25 and then they may marry if they want, because Upakurvana Brahmachari means he will marry. Nashtiki Brahmachari means lifelong he will remain celibate. Yeah. My question is, who are the four Yuga avatars? That you will find in 11th canto very easily. Yeah, what is our lecture? I gave one lecture recently on all the four Yugas. It's there in 11th canto. Your mentor will help you find it. You can check it. Finished. All the questions are answered. Pankaj Go Prabhu is not there. Pankaj Go Prabhu. Very nice questions. Very thoughtful, very brilliant questions. So I rushed through a little bit because I didn't want to disappoint any of you because you all have very, very painstakingly written so many questions. Therefore, I rushed through some of the questions. But you all have your mentors who will always help you out. So 6 months from now, 6 or 7 months from now, we may do a camp called Nishta camp, similar like Utkarsh. There you will learn about the stages of 9 scientific stages of devotional service. Shraddha, Sahav, Sankha, Bhajana, Kriya. So that time we will inform all of you. You are most welcome again. But in the meantime, I request you, please chant Hare Krishna regularly because chanting is our lifeline in spiritual life. If you give up chanting, we are gone. We can't advance in spiritual life. It's like if you don't eat food, you will not survive. Chanting is like that. It's a spiritual food. And if you chant, you will get four things. You will get association of devotees, you will get engagement in Bhaktimaya Seva, and also you will also get knowledge of Bhakti Yoga very deeply, science of devotion service, from the devotee association. And fourthly, Vaikuntha airplane will come and take you back to Godhead. So anybody who is chanting, like you saw in Ajamila section, he chanted Narayana, Vishnudutas came, he got knowledge of devotion service, he got engagement of Seva in Haridwar, then Vaikuntha airplane took him back. So you all will get the same. Now you are chanting nowadays, therefore you are getting knowledge. And because you are chanting, you will also get Seva now, when you join the voice centers and all. And then at the end of your life, Vaikuntha airplane, that's the one remaining which will happen to you. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki. What's happening to Pankaj Go Prabhu? Pankaj Go Prabhu? Yeah, now we can announce. Yeah, you make announcement now. Yeah. Tyajadurjana samsargam bhaja sadhu samagamam kuru punyamahoratram smaranityam anityatam. So Chanakya says, Tyajadurjana samsargam, give up bad association, he's saying. That's one thing which will ruin your life and which will bring many bad habits to you. And if you want to really save yourself, beware of bad association, keep away, he says. Bhaja sadhu samagamam, come in the company of devotees, saintly devotees. Now each of you, in your own colleges, you got a group of boys now, who came for the Utkarsh and enthusiastically participated. You know the mentors and you know the fellow devotees. So now lockdown is opening up slowly now. So you all can come in the company of each other. Bhaja sadhu samagamam. Come in the company of each other. Like we say, birds of the same feather flock together. So I have been going to Boston in the last 1 year. Now also I am in touch with Boston. We recently opened the first voice center there with 5 inmates only. They are all studying in Northeastern University and Harvard University and Massachusetts University. So they are staying together, 5 of them. They have altar now and morning program is started now. They are also attending programs like this, similar to this. And they are feeling so happy. They said, Prabhuji, you have never eaten prasadam like this. We have never lived with devotees like this. It's a new experience for them. So all of you also have a similar opportunity in your own respective places. My humble request to you, help your mentors and your guides and your preachers. They are all working very hard in this Kali Yuga because the Kali Yuga age is a very dangerous age. You all know that. Please help them because you should be grateful to them for what they have done you in the last 1 year of training. If you want to express your gratitude, help them to put up a center, youth center. And then youth center also, and you attend the morning programs and, do your studies also very well. If you are a 7-pointer, become a 9-pointer. As I told you in one of my talks. Become meritorious, become a top ranker in the class. Along with that, chant your Hare Krishna well, read Prabhupada books. So that is Bhaja Sadhu Samagamam. And then he says, Kuru punyam ahoratram. Day and night accumulate bhakti sukriti. When the sun rises in the morning and sets in the night, one day is removed from our life. In this way, one day will go away. Like right now, I am 52 years old. I joined this movement when I was 25. Now, how these 25 years have passed, 27 years have passed so fast. So, we should always remember that life will go very fast. It looks like yesterday for me, 25 years ago. So we should not forget that the time will run out. Time is precious. The human form of life is extremely rare. So you have got the best of the methods and easy methods. You don't have to go to Himalayas or plug the nose or submerge yourself in water till the neck, chill water. You don't have to do all that. Just chant Hare Krishna and follow the four regs. त्यजदुर्जन संसर्गम भज साधु समागमम कुरु पुण्यमहोरात्रम स्मर नित्यमनित्यताम. Remember that this world is temporary. It will very soon come to an end. 20, 30, 40 years down the line, where will we be? Think about it. Because this body is temporary, it's running out of fuel. Eventually it will stop to exist. At that time the soul will come out, and where we will go depends on how we lived our life. Life is the preparation and death is the examination. So I would request all of you, just as you are passing the college exams and earning a degree, pass the exam of your life also, which means at the time of death, one has a very good spiritual account, substantial account, and then that will take you back to spiritual world from where we came. And I thank Srila Prabhupada for all his teachings through his books. I thank my spiritual master and all the spiritual masters, Prabhupada's disciples, who are all our role models for us, because of whom we are what we are today. Otherwise, we don't know. We were just groping in the dark in this dangerous material world. By their guidance and mercy, we are assimilating the knowledge and we are able to practice and lead such a happy life. So I am bowing down my head to all the disciples of Prabhupada and to Prabhupada and the previous acharyas, and also to Lord Krishna, who is so kind in enveloping our lives with different forms of mercy. He has come as the holy rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, Kaveri. He has come as the holy temples, everywhere, all over the country. He has come as the holy deities. He has come as the holy books like Bhagavad Gita. He has come as the holy devotees. He has come as the holy name. He has come as the holy prasadam. So he's practically enveloping us with his mercy. He's eager to take us back home, back to Godhead. So I wish to thank Krishna for being so easily accessible, approachable, available for us in varieties of forms, and making spiritual life easy for us in this most challenging age of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is like a crash course. We don't live for 10,000 years or 1,000 years, or we not even live for 100 years. So in the short time, if you are faithful in practicing what you are learning here, you will definitely go back to Godhead. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki